Welcome back, everybody. God dang, we done took a week. We done took a week off. Technically, it was a 2-week work vacation. Even though we was on vacay, we was still working. But y'all didn't see us for a week. We wasn't here on these couches for 2 weeks, and shit, we happy to be back. We appreciate y'all for rocking with us, man.
Hey, look, like any vacation from a job is always nice. Not gonna lie.
For a fact.
Not gonna lie.
And it was a relief to not have to talk on a Sunday. It was like I was still preparing myself to do it, but I really didn't have to. So that was a relief a little bit.
Felt good to get a little extra sleep, you know.
For a fact. For you, for a fact.
Hey, for those that don't know, they are worried about me, okay?
Absolutely.
The production, the crew,
for sure.
Everybody is worried about me.
I definitely be worried about bro. I be worried about my brother, his temperament all the time. And Tre just be worried about this man getting some decent sleep. Tre ain't even asking for full 8 hours. Hey, bro, just get you at least 4-5.
No,
it's 4-5 at a time. Come on now, bro. But we appreciate y'all for tuning back. Goodness gracious, we appreciate y'all for tuning back in with us. Them week layoff stumbles, my brother.
All right.
Yes, sir.
For those that don't know, we're 2 for 2. All right.
2 for 2, and the second one was better than the first one. For real.
And also, I want to be sponsored. So Pringles, yeah.
Go ahead, show them that kid. We're going to allow the labels for this one. We're going to allow the labels for that one.
Yeah, Pringles. Help a brother out.
What's that, cheddar sour cream? Or
yeah,
just cheddar?
I was looking for this sour cream, you know what I mean, onion one, but they ain't have it. So I went for the cheddar. But yeah.
Elite flavors.
But yeah. Help a brother out.
Help a brother out.
Also put some more cheese powder on this, bro. It was kind of light on the seasoning.
He asked for the sponsorship and immediately started critiquing.
Hey, look. Best of both worlds, you know what I mean? I'm a customer, you know what I mean? They gonna help the customers out.
That's true, though. That's true for a fact. For a fact.
Promote. And
now,
also, Skyra. Drink Skyra.
7-Eleven, hit us up.
All right, but that was it.
But I also want to give a shout out. I want to shout out my brother Christian. He just released a single called Self-Inflicted Wounds. That is CHRIXTIAN. If I did, yes, I spelled it right. My brother got a name now. Hey, he got a name and he dangerous now. But I'm going to actually play a little bit of this for y'all. Had to run some bloopers real quick, but we got it back. So, bong.
Bing.
Oh, yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah.
Look in the mirror, see yourself. Why can't you forgive yourself for these self-inflicted
You trust Jesus. Forgiveness and peace. That's the antidote.
So take it easy, won't you? And slow it down. Oh, you wanna be alone.
Self-Inflicted Wounds by Christian. With an X, not an S.
Why can't you forgive yourself for this self-inflicted wounds? Easy, won't you? Slow it down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Round of applause for my brother Christian. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, it's amazing to have talented friends. I'm not gonna hold you. It's amazing to be surrounded with not only talented friends, but friends who also apply their gifts. You feel me? Friends that apply their gifts, man, it's a joy to be around them, man, for real. So shout out to Christian. Shout out to everybody we had on this pod. Sticky Don, Andre Rashad. Shout out to my brothers in the room right now. Shout out Trey. Shout out Larry. Battle coming up.
Yeah.
Battle coming up September 14th.
Yeah.
Up in Richmond.
Yeah.
Battling a dead man walking, whoever that is. That's what I'm gonna call him, because that's my man's. If you not his man, should be saying the same thing about Larry, just so that way y'all don't get it twisted.
It's only funny because
I'm just saying,
Hey, look, I don't talk down on my opponents. It's just funny because I don't like getting my opponent changed so many times, and that's just me or any other dancer.
Hey, this is your second opponent?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's the second person that he's been supposed to battle.
Actually, it was 3. Because what
For
happened
real.
was the person that is actually was my second opponent is battling somebody else, and I feel like the event is like a crumper. It's like crumpers versus like other styles, which is cool. I'm not mad at it, but it's just I crump and flex, so it's just gonna be funny.
It's gonna be very interesting to see the reaction to what it is that you do, because it seems like he's somewhat in a similar boat.
Yeah.
In which, and you told me that crump was one of the styles that he did, but when I saw footage of him, it was old, but he was a traditional popper. Like,
yeah, and that's what I saw.
Yeah.
In his style. Like, even for my opponent, bro, if you listen to this, I hope you have fun. I'm gonna have fun, bro. I ain't really on that OD promo type ish where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna kill you. Like, obviously, I'm gonna beat you.
Round
bro.
of applause for maturity. Round of applause for maturity.
Like, yeah,
because I'm not there yet.
It's like, yeah, I'm confident I'm gonna win. I'm gonna beat you, but I'm not out here slandering your name, bro. I know where I'm at, and I just want everybody that I come across to get better, bro. Like, no matter if you already better than me or if you're not better than me.
I respect that.
But once you step in my presence, you will know why you should be prepared for me.
For sure. For sure. Now, shout out to that. If anybody got anything else going, any events anybody got coming up, because I don't. My birthday next month. Less than 30 days away from the birthday. His battle's happening the day after my birthday. And then we pod the following day. So we go get the full recap. We go get the birthday recap, the battle recap. We got a decent amount of things going on.
Feeling like Lil Lutz that whole week. You gonna get this work. You gonna get this work.
We got October. Trey, your birthday in October too, ain't it? So we got not only Trey's birthday, my wife's birthday, as well as our anniversary.
Y'all some
in October.
Babies, man.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm the
I was
spring
about to be
baby.
mad inappropriate. I ain't gonna do that right now. I'll save that for when I get older. But
Hey, yo.
I'm talking about, for when I was born. You know what was going on around New Year's. So if you was born in the fall, your parents either was getting active on New Year's or around Christmas. So so if they was getting active around, them Christmas parties where everybody was turning up, 9 times out of 10, you probably got my birthday somewhere around my birthday.
Into a new year.
and if parents got active on Valentine's Day, you probably had Trey's birthday. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it go.
Now, me on the other hand,
when your birthday?
I'm April, bro. So they was just having it on a random day.
No, it was.
Hey, yo, I'm taking this off. Hey, look.
Oh man.
Hey, I hope my mom ain't watching this episode or my pops, because I'm sorry.
I'm only talking about everyone around that time period. I ain't speaking toward my brother specifically.
It's no coming back. It's already too late. The damage is done.
I'd never call your mother a turkey, my brother. I'd never call her that. Not at all. They called people jive turkeys. That was 50s, 60s.
Hey, look, being called a jive turkey is the ultimate disrespect. Assault.
That is verbal assault.
Bro, that insult is crazy.
You good, Trey? Keep going. You should stop it. Topic? Oh, that's what you said.
Okay.
My bad. My brother is producing.
So we are getting off track. So let's get.
We are getting off track. We could start with. Should we build it up from simple to? Well, I think Yachty is pretty simple, but we could, because today we don't have that many topics on the board today. All we have is probably about 4 topics, but they all can kind of lead into one another. I guess we could start with Michael Rubin. Okay. He did an interview. I think it was with Maverick Carter, if I'm not mistaken, whoever he did the interview with. But he spoke on Lil Baby. And what he was speaking on with Lil Baby was, if you know anything about rap music, especially in the past 5-6 years, Lil Baby went on a meteoric rise. Well, no, he went on a ridiculous rise, and he's hit a meteoric fall.
Yeah, because it was like from 2017 all the way up to 2022.
Yeah, bodying absolutely everything that anyone asked him to be on. He bodied Drake on Drake's records. He was bodying anything that he came across, and then it switched at some point in time to being cool to hate on him or to capitalize on the fact that he was probably in something of what people would call a sophomore slump. And
I mean, he was having the same flow for a while.
He was, because we did the same thing to him, Da Baby, with an addition to Lil Baby.
You know what I mean? And also,
there's a couple other people.
Smoke Perk, when he was out, he did the same thing.
That's been honestly the story of a lot of artists.
Yeah,
for real. They go on these super hot runs. The Baby was different. The Baby kind of self-inflicted wounds, with certain things that he did. A certain community X'd him out really, but
like all that controversy.
Yeah, that was wild. But
watch what you say.
Exactly, and that was more so of his, and he's still rapping at a very high level. So I don't even want to get that twisted. The Baby is still one of the best rappers that is rapping today. As far as active rappers, especially amongst the generation that is his and onward, he's definitely one of the best MCs, regardless of whether people say he don't switch his flow up or not. Every time you see him, he's somewhere bodying something. But what Michael Rubin spoke on was how weird it was to see all of his own people trying to not only hop on the bandwagon of he's falling off, but to hate on everything he released almost to ensure that he was falling off. And
no, that is preying on somebody down.
Absolutely.
I ain't gonna lie.
And what it was that he ended up speaking on, in which I think he probably got a text message later on because he posted a tweet in response to him speaking on it. He said, it's fascinating and disappointing to watch black people tear each other down so swiftly and so quickly, because we do hop on the bandwagon of wanting to tear one another down. I know we all try to blame Stephen A. Smith for being the only person that is black but ain't really black. But really, it's black people that do it on the regular to each other. The same with any other race. They all tear each other down before anybody else tears them down, because that is the nature of being the same or similar to somebody else. We all just ain't out here tearing everybody down or saying, oh, you're black, so I have to tear you down. We know each other the best. So we speak on each other as if we know each other. You know what I mean? But he eventually came out and said he apologized for saying what he said because he was white, speaking on black culture, black community, and black issues.
I'm not gonna lie, I hate hearing that shit. It's like, bro,
what, the apology or hearing the opinion?
The opinion. No, it's like, why can't somebody else say what they have to say?
Oh yeah, for a fact, I agree with that.
That's like, in a way, gatekeeping.
For sure.
What people can talk about and what people can't talk about, because we can say white people this, white people that, or any other race, and be like, oh, I'm not being racist though, I'm just giving my opinion. It's the same way. Just because the color is adding to it doesn't mean anything. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. We all just shades of wheat, bruh. So it don't really matter.
For sure.
Like, it really don't really matter.
For sure.
Like, if you really think about it, we just are a different shade of wheat. It's either you was in the sun a little bit longer or if you won't. But it shouldn't really matter of your characteristics or just your character traits in the end all be all, for real. Because if I see a white man, a black man, or anything, I'm gonna describe it how I see it. It's like, all right, that's a black man. All right, that's a white man. And this, that, and the third. It's okay for me to have an opinion. Now, why I feel like we're in the era of when the truth is being put out, no matter who is the person that's saying it, it's, oh, why are you saying this? Because you got no business being a part of it. It's not your culture. It's not your forte. And it's like, it don't matter. If I see the sky as blue, I don't have to be a weatherman to be like, all right, this is today's forecast. No, it's a blue sky because the sky is blue, and that's what I noticed, and that's what I observed. Even though that's my opinion, it's also a fact behind that. So why like label stuff that it's an opinion where it got truth to it? It's really true. We do tear each other down as a people, and it's been like that all these years. And I say that because as many documentaries and like movies I've seen when it comes to black people and us just being a part of our own culture, it is that one set of people or that one person that is like preying on a downfall because it's not their idea or because they're not able to do it. And that's lack of one support in your community and lack of support in your own self.
For a fact.
And then we got the ones in the community that's selective supporting people, where it's like, all right, yeah, you're doing something great, but if you're not doing it how I want you to do it or what I see you doing, then I'm not gonna support it that way.
Facts.
And that's not making the situation better. It's pushing
gatekeeping support.
Yeah,
like
you gatekeeping support, but then get mad when somebody from the opposite race points out what we are doing. It's like, bro, it's that bad to a point that a white man is saying that. Like, we're not trying to say, he's just a white man and he's the only one that can say this or he can't say this, whatever. But it's like, from the outside looking in, that term means a lot. That's basically what I see it as. He like, from the outside looking in, y'all, we do bash each other. And I'm not black, but we bash each other. I'm saying this as a white man.
And how quickly he said black people. It wasn't no accident where he like even tried to tiptoe around the fact that he was talking about black people. He came out straight and said it's crazy to see black people do, like, watching black people do, like, it was so quick off the tongue. I feel like black people got offended at two things. One, us gatekeeping black problems is a form of reparations that black people have accepted in 2024 for the past, I don't know how many decades. Y'all can call me a coon how much ever y'all want to. Y'all don't like hearing white people talk about black issues because half of it is, well, y'all put us here, so y'all ain't really got no right to talk. Okay, whatever. If you feel that way, and you are justified in feeling that way because a lot of those decisions have led us here. What has also been very evident is, out of the efforts that a lot of people have made to try to change and turn the tide from that, they have been met with more backlash than support, or they've abandoned the aspect of community to try to develop a level of, shout Dr. Umar, a level of individualism to try to build their own community, in which now the black community is nothing more than a bunch of individual communities. Those two things don't coexist together because it's the same thing that we see in every community: music, dance, everyone wants to build a community and say that they're building this community, but they never feel like they can build a community without destroying the community first. So now we destroy ties, we burn and sever ties, and then try to build it from the ground up, just to end up having to turn right around and ask for other people to support the way that other people are asking us, asking them to support us. So that is one part of it, in which those are the reparations that we have accepted. Two, we wanted to hear a little hesitation, and we wanted to hear a little tiptoeing, because it would have made us feel better attitude-wise. We didn't want to feel like, so you be having these conversations on the regular. like Michael Rubin just, you see these black people? You see these niggas? They going crazy over it. Look at how they hating on him.
It'd be really different if he just came out and just said it in that tone, in that way. Like, then it's like, all right, I can tell you've been having this discussion.
He said it sensitively. Like, he said it as if he was really upset at how they were treating someone that he genuinely loves and care about. And I don't know how genuine the love and care is, because a business relationship always comes off great when you're making money off of it. So, that's that. But he seemed like he genuinely cared about the dude. And it's not my place to call out whether I feel like it's genuine or not. It's only our place to speak as a podcast, talk about a lot of stuff we don't really know nothing about. It's our place to say, he sounded like he gave a damn, and what he said wasn't all the way wrong. Like,
that's the full scenario for
a fact.
It's white people out here as well that speaks about their own community.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why is it like this? and they don't get looked upon like, oh, we need to crucify them. No, they understand that it's issues within their own community, and it's up to them to fix it or move forward. Because if you keep the same problem, you're not gonna do nothing but just cause a cancer in the community, point blank, and just.
And as the majority,
That's it, man.
as the majority, they designed the country to be the way that it is. So 8 times out of 10, they will fix it because it's meant to be fixed whenever they have the issue. And the percentages are outweighed so much. If you got 500 black people and 5,000 white people, 150 deaths in the black community is more detrimental than 200 deaths in the white community.
Exactly.
So when they show the percentages, of course it looks like that, but the number is still too high regardless of whatever number you put up. So when it comes to how we treat ourselves and how we redistribute the energy, whether it be negative or positive to our own community, it's always going to be more detrimental to us whenever there is a level of detriment, because we can't afford to lose the same amount of numbers that they have. Like, as a minority in the country, that just is what it is. And we are the only minority that really has this problem on a broad scale the way that we do. Everyone has their problems. Black people are the main ones that put their problems to the forefront for everyone to see, because we are the most popular. We are the most influential. We are this, we are that. We are also the largest consumers. We are all of these things. So every time we have something going on with us, it's always the first to play out in the public light, because we feel like the public light will be the closest that we get to our heaven and our validation of all of our issues and things that we have going wrong. When in all actuality, your neighbor could be going through the very same thing and they just not black and you don't give a damn. But you'll definitely say it to your phone before they will.
Yeah.
That's the main difference. And that's sort of the main thing that I've seen with this. And the irony about that is everything that happened in tandem with that. Yachty.
I mean,
I don't know what that Karrahbooo girl is,
yeah,
but
even before we get onto that topic,
I'm working on it. You feel me? You feel me?
I just want to say one last
You got
thing.
something right here.
Thank you, brother. You
You good.
Yeah, I got the fresh cut today, people.
For sure, fresh cut. Them fresh cut slaps at school used to start fights.
Honestly though, the last thing I got to say on the topic is, it goes hand in hand to like when Malcolm X was around. For real, if you think about it, because when he was going to different countries, different like continents, and visiting these leaders, he was looked at as a public enemy in the United States. All because he had the power to be able to understand other people's issues, and they can be able to sit down and be at a round table and come to a common understanding that like it's bigger than just us. If we was to do that in our own community, how other communities do it in their community, we wouldn't really have no problems. We wouldn't really have an issue where it's like, why do I feel small? It's because you're playing in a part of making your people feel small. You're not allowing yourself to be that role model or that image, or that mirror of a person to look at you and just reflect off of moving forward and being a leader. You're just allowing yourself to be a follower, and it's messing up more and more people in the community. It's messing up even the children that's in the community. So if you're not really on that stature of like, I'm gonna go through the lengths of making sure everything is right by reaching out to not only my people in the community, but other people in their communities, it's not gonna help.
Facts.
It's not gonna help. That's all I gotta say on that, man.
I got a question for the room, actually. Do y'all think that, and I'm not speaking on just a political sense, but we have like a comfort in words, right? To where whenever we hear a certain word in certain facets and aspects, we immediately feel a bit of comfort behind the word because of what we've been told the word is supposed to mean for us. And we have a level of comfort in the term us, even though us didn't apply to us for the longest time, right? Do y'all think democracy has ruined us as a community, or what we feel democracy is?
See.
Because as a black community, I think the idea of freedom and choice is a privilege. And not all rights and all freedoms and privileges, but everything under the sun ain't meant for everyone under the sun, if that makes sense. If we look at dynasties, whether it be literal or in sports, the best part about the team, the best part about the structure is that everyone plays their role so well that one superstar doesn't have to make all of the difference. One superstar can make a lot of the difference, but that superstar is not always going to shine the brightest. In which, if you are great within your own individual branch, you don't have, that person doesn't have to hold the whole weight of the tree. You feel what I'm saying? I think if we were more militant and we had that level of, I hate having to use the word communism, or what's the other word? It's not oligarchy. It's
Marxism.
Yes.
I said Marxism.
No, Marxism. It's something like that. Yeah.
Marxism, Marxism, same difference. Bro.
but the freedoms that we all have already understood, that when all of these documents that were written in the beginning of time were not meant for us to immediately think, because they added an amendment, that everything applies to us. We still have to work on the structure. We still have to work on our ideologies. We still have to work on understanding the very definitions of all of these words and the intention behind the definition of those words, before we think all of those things are just getting passed down to us. Which is why I ask, because like a lot of people say, if you repetitively go and vote for the same party just because you were raised to do so, then you're doing yourself a disservice by not informing yourself.
Exactly.
Because if you vote Democrat all of the time, or you vote Republican all of the time without even looking at the ballot, you just say, I'm on this side, I'm on this side, I'm on this side, you're doing yourself a disservice. I am starting to feel like at this point in 2024 going into 2025, that is what we do with each other. Yeah. And we're using a structure that was not meant for us to succeed and build, but we're automatically just taking it as, well, we're here and we were born here and we exist here. And we're told that, we should be proud and all of those things, and we should be able to exercise all of this, when we know that that's not the case. That's really what I'm hearing. And every time there's something that resembles change or resembles structure, we run from it because of the privilege that exists on that side and how they can afford to do that because they already are in charge. Mm-hmm. We think we can do the same things and feel the same things that they feel. I figured I'd just ask the room that question because I think even with the next topic that we're going to go into, I think that makes a huge difference in just mindsets of future generations going forward. Because it's not getting better.
At this point, it's really not.
It's not getting better.
The projections for next year is so fucking scary that I'm just going to keep praying every day like I've been doing and moving forward, bro. And even with this Yachty situation, I don't understand how you can put somebody on and then, from my understanding, the person that got put on makes it seem as though that you owe them something when you went out your way and did everything. What I mean by everything, you might as well say you was the artist at that point. You know what I mean? It's like
I know.
It's like if I'm promoting you, if I'm mentoring you, if I'm helping you practice, if I'm getting you booked, if I'm giving you money, if I'm allowing certain behaviors to go by and not say nothing, and it's coming back on me, and you have the audacity to say, oh, I didn't support you, or I won't really truly trying to work with you or trying to help push your music, you're a bald-faced fucking lie. I'm sorry. I would say that wholeheartedly. Like, you lost your marbles. A couple screws are missing.
This go back to the conversation of the emotions that are afforded to the majority. We don't understand them to be a luxury for the people that it don't apply to. And if for those who don't know, shout out to RDC World. If you watch the Hood Olympics, you would know that one of the events that was in the Hood Olympics was Instagram live beefing.
Yes.
Shout out Duke Dennis. He took gold. Mark Phillips for the U.S. He took silver. My bad. I think Yachty might have got bronze in this performance. I'm not gonna hold you. Yachty, he might have knocked Duke down to silver and took gold just for crashing out on IG Live. He didn't do it toward nobody. So if we got IG Live beefing, then we got another event called IG Live Crash Outs.
Yeah.
You feel me? IG Live Crash Outs, Yachty got the gold. What happened was he went on a rant about a couple of different things, but the main premise of it was it seemed like he's tired of being in a position to provide and put people on and they not being grateful. So the first one was his artist Karrahbooo. He went on live to speak about a tweet that had went out of a waitress at a restaurant waiting on her, and the girl, I think it was a girl, was a fan of Karrahbooo, and she asked what was going on with her, or why she dropped, or whatever the case was, or why hasn't she dropped any music or whatever. And she said in so many words she wasn't rocking with them. The label, you know, she was getting hated on because she was gaining popularity and she wasn't being taken care of. She was being bullied, so on and so forth, right? That's, I'm paraphrasing, of course, and I'm not identically paraphrasing, but I'm just kind of summing it up. And Yachty, within addition to that, another clip came out of them interviewing Key Glock on A Safe Place or A Safe Space. I think it's A Safe Place. His podcast with him and Mitch, and along with Key Glock lighting the blunt in there, and he didn't seemingly like that a lot. Him and Mitch got into a conversation about the people back at home in the hood. How do you get those people to stop pursuing a certain life? And they in the midst of the struggle. How would you handle telling that person, yo, it's stuff out there. We could do this, we could do that. Wrapping their mind around opportunity to take them out of where they have been their whole life into just waking up in a different opportunity. Yachty's example, although executed a little, you know, a little harshly, that's the way that they talk to each other from both of their mouths. That's the way that they talk to each other. He said, if you didn't have a friend like me, and you're 1 to 2 years older than me, if you didn't have a friend like me, where would you be? And if you ask yourself that question, how can you just go to the hood and tell somebody, yo, go get a job? Like, if you go get a job, you know what I'm saying? You don't got to be doing this. Put that down. Put the ratchet down. You ain't got to do that. Put the knife down. Don't go do this B&E over it. Don't do that. Go get a job. I promise it'll change your life. Give yourself an opportunity to live life. Is that the right thing to say? Technically, yes. Is that the most adhesive message to put out to somebody? Will it stick? No, because they've been told that by everybody else. Yachty was on the side of, how can you were a person who maybe didn't have the best habits or whatever. Yachty didn't tell him to go get a job because he knew he wasn't going to go get a job. Because he was, you know, him and Yachty was in the mud together. Hey, when I was staying at my mama's house, she was living with me. You know, so I know what you was outside doing. You didn't ever go try to get a job. You was out here doing whatever you had to do. Yeah. So if you didn't have me in your life, you would have never been able to have this. You came to me to start this podcast. I didn't want to do no podcast, but you came to me because you said you wanted a platform.
Yeah, I saw that too.
And I'm willing to give you a platform. And the way that he said it may not have been as eloquent as I just said it. So a lot of people got offended at the fact that he said that and said, yo, he embarrassed his friend on a very large platform in front of hundreds of thousands and millions of people. If you feel secondhand embarrassment for him,
then that's understandable.
I can understand that, right?
But what we can't do is also keep putting people in a victim mentality and not holding them accountable for what they have done.
For a fact.
That's the age we are also living in, and it's starting to get it's been played out since the time of this victim mentality movement. I don't know if it's a wave nowadays, but it's just like the fact that I'm seeing it more and more, it bothers me. It really bothers me.
It's very bothersome. It is.
Because like on a real note, if I give you, anybody in here, if I give any one of y'all $500 to invest into your business, $500 might not be a lot. Right. But it's $500.
For a fact.
And you start to have a successful business. What you think I'm going to either look for? Either that 500 back or just the fact that you're moving up and doing good in life. Either one of those two is a reasonable answer to like be like, yeah, I want my 500 back because I invested in this, bro. I ain't trying to take all your money, but I just want the money I put into it.
For a fact.
And I want to get known for like I want you to even acknowledge the fact that I helped out, because I didn't have to help out. I could have put this 500 to myself, but some in me said no, invest this because he gonna do something or she gonna do something. And that's why I feel like when people are like, well, you didn't have to do it, I didn't ask you to. That's right there, that's gaslighting, bro. Point blank.
No, I think
because that's disrespectful.
The idea of all of this playing out on camera always gets tricky, because if I was to go on camera and say everything that I ever did for people, it could look like I'm purposely trying to. The reason why I invest into somebody is because I believe in them. Exactly. I've invested into myself. I've invested into the people that surround me. Y'all have both invested into me as well. You know what I'm saying? Nobody at this point is counting anything that we do for one another here, which is why I love being here. And I love the people that are currently around me, because we all do for each other. And we don't put pressure on one another to do for one another. We put pressure on each other to do for self. That's really where we at right now. Tre pressed Larry to get some sleep. Yeah, that's where we at right now. Tre pressed me to get my car fixed. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like that's really where we at right now. And if that's where you are, rather than trying to keep a monetary count of things, now when it gets on camera, this is where the waters get very muddy, because if I'm telling you, and especially if this is in front of millions of people, we got a large platform. I'm saying, yo, what would you have done if you didn't have a successful friend in your life? Because this ain't nobody else asking you. This is also a difference too. If Key Glock would have asked him that, and Yachty just had to sit there and wait for him to answer the question, I think it's viewed a lot differently than Yachty being the person that did it and then him saying it. Because then it's like, oh, you trying to little bro him, you trying to son him, along with adding the fact that Mitch is older than Yachty. Again,
I mean,
I've helped people who are older than me on plenty of occasions. I know that I'm never getting back what I gave out, because I didn't give with the purpose of receiving.
Exactly.
And this is what, because even like he said, if I take $500 and invest in your business and the business pops, me personally, I'm probably not going to ask you for the $500 back, because I know that person is going to come back around to giving me the bread anyway.
But it's more so just like a principle thing.
Right. They're going to appreciate it along the way. Everybody in here, whether it be from A to B or B to C, we've been that for one another at some point in time. I can't tell you how many free videos trading gave me over time. I can't tell you how many times, just Larry coming over here and him providing a piece of IP, because he had Wave Talk. He didn't have to come do this. And he's still going to do Wave Talk, of course. Shout out Wave Talk Podcast. But us all coming together is a benefit. I stay the furthest away out of everybody by technicality, and they come here. That is all still a part of an investment that everyone puts toward me, myself. And I'm appreciative of that, and I always show appreciation along the way. Not seeing that, or them just seeing, they always been showing love. Mitch and Yachty been showing love to each other. When it gets to a point to where all Yachty asked was, yo, why did you let that clip go out and the narrative run like that without checking it?
And that's what I'm also, it's not just with this Yachty situation, it happened to DDG as well.
I didn't know about that.
Because somebody, I guess, did a review on his music or something, and it was somebody that he knew, and he didn't like that when somebody was like, yo, play DDG. I guess his friend looked at him, and he just instantly got weak. And, of course, somebody going to take that as disrespect.
Absolutely.
So it's just like, he was like, bro, why did you leave it up? Or why did you, like, play with me as though, like, it's cool to play with me? And I feel like a lot of people that are coming off as the helper or the caretaker or the caregiver or just the cool guy that wants to help people out and see them blossom and shine, I'm seeing that a lot of people are getting sick and tired of
for a fact.
being like leftover goods. You know what I'm saying?
That era is starting to end of people being so generous that they look past all the disrespect.
Because like you said, I've been in a situation where people have gave me money or I gave them money, and I won't really in a situation where I'm like, all right, you got to pay me back, or vice versa. If I told you I'm gonna pay you back, and I'm constantly talking about how I'm gonna pay you back, and I'm paying you back along the way of me saying I'm gonna pay you back,
Yeah,
that's different. But if it's on some things where it's like neither one of us want the money, and we made that clear, it's because we intentionally want you to do good. This
For
is
a fact.
like
For a
motivation. Like, bro, yeah, I got it. And I might not always have it. I might need to come to you one day.
for a fact.
But it's like the fact that I have it now, I know you're going to have it later on in life. And I'm not expecting to run to you and be like, all right, you got it now, so let me go ahead and ask you. No, it's to see you progress in life.
For a fact.
That's the whole thing. That's why so many people get upset about this, because if you not progressing after I gave you a helping hand, and that was something that I could have used for myself. It don't matter if it was just a platform. It don't matter if it was just some money or a shout out or a feature on a song or video or whatever. It's like I went out my way to help in some form of way, and you didn't care. You just ran with what you want to run with at the time, because you felt like either my head too big or I'm listening to whoever around me, and I feel like they are the influence I need to be around, or you just was using them from the jump and didn't care, and you're showing your true colors, and now you got to play with the cards that you've been dealt with.
And it circles right back to the privilege that people don't understand that they're afforded. This is all the privilege that we're talking about. The attitude of, if I got it, we got it, and if I don't got it, then for the most part we ain't got shit. Respectfully, and then your partner saying, yo, I got it. So that means we got it because you had it for me when I didn't have it. And that just trickles down to the ideals that we've been passed down for things that we can't afford to hold on to. The way that the majority has treated each other over time, the minority cannot afford to act like that. When you have someone like Yachty around you, for maybe even in small patches, when you have someone like Drake around you, who's, I know, done a lot of favors off of a whim, which is why with the whole Kendrick and Drake aftermath, Drake is just looking around like, yo, there was a lot of y'all that ate off of me and benefited off of me because I was willing to hop on the wave of sounds that y'all were creating, and y'all all tried to turn y'all back on me and act like I was being weird to y'all when I didn't do anything to y'all. And regardless of how true or not, or how much of a vulture we want to put on Drake, Drake has been a running faucet for a lot of people who needed water in hip hop. Regardless of whether we like it or not, Kendrick has not provided anywhere near the opportunity for a lot of people that Drake has. Now, if we want to talk about how strong that bond was and how long lasting it was, which is basically comparing TDE to The Field, that's not really fair. Because this is one concentrated effort, or PG Lang. This is one concentrated area, one concentrated effort to somebody who goes to Cali, show love over here, go to New York, show love over here, Georgia, Florida, Texas, the UK,
VA.
Right. All of these other places, and show love and gave a generational hit to be able to provide a level of generational wealth to people who didn't have that at one point in time. Kendrick may not have did that as much, but the tree and lineage in which it comes from, it's like a tree that bears fruit year round, right? Drake is seasonal, pumpkin spice type shit. You feel me? Like, he real seasonal. It's real iffy, real wishy-washy. And he may be much more of the beneficiary behind it, but the energy in which the output is, I'm turning around and looking at everybody like, yo, since when did y'all get the nuts to be able to turn around and act like y'all are all high and mighty? Since when did I become the enemy because I couldn't help you all the time? That's what I'm starting to see, and that's what I felt like Yachty was feeling, because a level of ungratefulness, a level of people not understanding their role in how the circle of life goes and how the cycle goes, how the food chain works. Yachty is big fish. I don't care how much of a big fish you think you are. To the big fish that put you on, you are a guppy until you get your shark teeth. That just is what it is, and you can't get that just because you got something. Somebody like Yachty has close to everything, and he's still working to gain more when you just got a piece of krill and you think you and you think you the shit. You think you everywhere. This ain't going out to the specific artists. This is just to the mindset of the people who do things like that. Because we got people out here who maneuver like that. We got people in a bunch of different local communities who maneuver like that. And that is one thing that always sets us back, is that we're willing to take every step we take forward, we shoot the foot that steps forward. And then we got to hop backwards because we in pain. Like we do it every time. Especially when it gets to these larger platforms. So I understand the concept of, hey, a bunch of individuals make a community. At some point in time, we have to stop taking away from the community to build up individuals for the same reason of, well, we got to build ourselves up. Yes, we do have to build ourselves up, but everybody is not meant for that role. That's
a good way to end it. Man.
Yeah, that's all I got for that. Topic, also, there, what was the the Tyler the Creator thing. I think
we kind of talked about some of that in the first topic.
Kind of a little bit.
We can get more.
But Tyler did something that was even better. Mm-hmm. Tyler is on the polar opposite side of this, because if anybody, I was in high school, 9th grade, when I first heard about Odd Future. I remember I was in biology. Grade. Facts. Tre, I think, was probably in 11th grade. 10th. Did you go in 2012 or 2011 in SU? You went. 2010. Okay, so bet. So that means Tre was a senior in high school around the time Odd Future first came out. Odd Future being who they were, the purposeful oddballs. By the way, we will eventually have the conversation of, are they the most disrespected group when it comes to hip-hop rankings as far as groups, or groups in music in general? Because I think they're a top 10 group of all time in music, period. But later conversation. Knowing what they meant to teenagers during that time, what they meant to the hip-hop movement during that time, they brought up a whole different wave of people and introduced a totally different culture of people to hip-hop.
In a different way.
Right, not that had never been there before, but they did it in a different way, because hip-hop is always all-inclusive. To a benefit and to a fault, hip-hop is always all-inclusive. Mm-hmm. And in this era in which they came up, they made a come up of being different, introducing everyone to a different way of doing things, and purposefully going against the grain and going against the system, so on and so forth. It's the Generation X or the millennial / Gen Z version of Public Enemy. Yeah, it's basically what it was.
I mean, just like with A$AP Mob is that same way of being their own version of Wu-Tang for.
That's a fact.
That's how I see it.
So now you got Tyler being 30 years old now. Shout out Tyler making it to 30. Mm. You got Tyler being 30 years old now. Earl and everybody else, they all older now. They more mature. Sid is doing her own thing. Everybody's doing their own thing now. Frank doing his own thing. Tyler comes out and speaks to the new generation of hip hop, and he did hang on one person a little bit, which was the dude. What's his name? Ian or something like that. The white dude that do trap rap, and he don't look like he from a liquor trap at all. Like he just rap like the southern rappers, and people think it sound dope or whatever. When you see it, apparently it's when you get more offended rather than just hearing it, because there's certain people who you hear rap and it's like, oh, okay, this sound pretty decent, and then you see it and it's like, I don't know if that's you, my boy. Like I don't know if that's you. So
like the artist Lil Tecca, at least he was honest about his shit.
Right, being honest about it, and what Tyler, I think, was trying to do was at least be able to put a finger on, okay, so you're clearly mocking what's going on. Yeah. Like, you're clearly not of this. You are a parodical figure. You are a parody of hip-hop to an extent. There's a place for it, but let's acknowledge it for what it is. The more serious thing that I think he tackled was how monogamous everything has become in hip-hop culture, which to me is just a reflection of black culture in general. I don't know if y'all remember back in the day, if you had a clique of people that you was hanging around, I'm saying back in the day like I'm 40, but if you remember just back when we was going to school and you had a group of people that you would hang around, y'all might have came up with a word that meant something that didn't really mean that, but y'all knew it was that.
That's your own lingo.
Right, that's your own lingo, that's your own way of thinking. Y'all might have had a particular piece of clothing that you saw in the store, was like, yo, that's fly. So y'all wore that particular clothing that certain way, just you and your peoples, right? I'd have heard some wild stuff before. I'd have heard,
man.
I'd have heard back in the days. I'm not gonna say who I heard this from, but back in the days up north, they used to have the flat top cuts, and they used to cut the block that they was from in the front of the flat top. So they used to tilt their head down and show people where they was from. The dumbest shit I've heard about. But it's dope if you get a whole community of people to do it. You feel me? Like, it's funny in 2024, but back then it's hot. It's hot. You know what I mean? That is it.
No wonder some of the old heads got bald spots.
Culture, it's a way of life. You feel me? It was a sacrifice that they made from young. You feel me? But the difference was we made it cool to do something different. The generations before us made us feel comfortable about doing something different just by doing something different because we followed actions rather than following words. So the words we would hear is, what's this crazy stuff y'all kids doing? Y'all, back in my day, we used to do this. Y'all ain't really doing nothing new. So by us hearing that, the actions would be, okay, y'all heard that all the time, and that was what y'all said to y'all parents, but y'all purposely went and did X, Y, and Z, even though they were saying this. So now we're starting to become that for the next generation. Y'all doing this, y'all ain't really done that. But the problem is we have the internet. So the internet has now removed all of that. Somebody way over there uses the same word that I use. Bet. Now I can also use this verbiage and take this from over there. This whole melting pot thing that we have as American people for minorities has been the most overrated shit I could really think of that this country has come up with.
Honestly, touching on what you just said, as far as just the internet, I feel like what Tyler, the creator, is exposing is the whole demographic of the people that is in that field.
Absolutely.
Because it, more times than sure, it's been a lot of people that has been either making a mockery of rap or whatever genre of music they have been in and didn't want to classify it until later on into their career.
Facts.
And I see that, like, that's them riding a wave. That's you literally riding a wave to get to a certain point in your career. Then you want to show who you really are. When you succumb into it knowing who you really are from the get-go. And the problem with that is Tyler the creator came into music when it was a time when everybody was doing something different.
Facts.
Not only music was changing, but entertainment was changing. Like, fashion was changing.
Facts.
Just a way of life was changing in a drastic way, and it was into a more creative way. I feel like now the way of life is being changed is more of a get-rich scheme type thing.
Facts.
And that's what's diluting the art.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I feel like he's also letting it be known as, like, if you are this, bro, then let it be known that you're that. But if you're not, you know you are technically riding a wave, getting a buzz off of that because you want to be seen and want to be known.
Facts.
And you're running with it. That's what vultures do. You know what I'm saying? Now instead of you looking like an artist that wants to be known, you look like a vulture. And that goes to say, like, the whole perfect way to come into a culture is to cultivate it and be different and make yourself seen in a positive way. Our future, like you said, a lot of them are doing different things. Some of them still rap, some of them produce, some of them are even actors. Like, if you go to see Bear, the black dude that's baking, he was in Our Future. Y'all didn't know that, did you?
My Bear Grylls?
Bear on Hulu?
Is that the dude named Bear Grylls?
No.
Or is it just Bear?
It's just Bear.
Oh.
The show is just called Bear.
Oh.
All right. And when you go, it's literally first season to now, he's up there. One of the only black dudes up there that bakes. He was in Our Future. And the reason why a lot of people don't know that, because he was in Our Future during the Lotus Squad era. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like, even with that TV show alone, for you to be a rap group and to get that on Adult Swim and have people watching it every night and then coming to school talking about it, you're a trendsetter.
Facts.
That's how you supposed to be. A$AP Mob, trendsetter.
Facts.
Even with YMCMB, trendsetters.
Facts.
Like, I can go along the list of trendsetters that are lasting because they did it properly. They was able to be outside of the box instead of being in the box and benefiting off of others Point blank. Period.
No, I can say that the YMCMB mindset was the right one, but I think YMCMB
Executed it wrong.
I think the intention was there because Wayne was the intention.
Yeah.
Wayne pointing out and having a roster that was so flexible, can do so much. We talking about something that started from New Orleans, Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
One of the 3 biggest artists in the group outside of Wayne are from 3 different parts of the continent. All the way from the left, all the way from the right, and all the way from the top. New York, Brooklyn, Cali, and Tyga. Mm-hmm. So Nicki and Tyga, 2 opposite sides of the country, and then a Canadian. Mm-hmm. You feel me? So what Wayne did was highlight the diversity in the group and had those people specifically do what they did best. But what ends up happening is this person being in close proximity with this person likes that sound. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to experiment in this sound a little bit because this person wants me to try this. And instead of it just being there, we now talking about YMCMB, possibly the most influential group to our generation. They having a trickle down effect to the whole music industry. Because at the top of the music industry, I know it seems like a carousel and it switches all the time, but there have been a repeat amount of people that have been at the top since, yeah. So after the Beyonce prime, you got Wayne, you got Nicki, you got Drake. Tyga is always floating off in the wind somewhere, but every time he drop a song that sound like the same Cali song he be releasing to go platinum every time he drop it. So
he's like the Jeremiah of rap. He know how to drop
pretty much, yeah,
a hit, but an album is not his forte.
And with hip hop, Drake and Nicki has been the best female, regardless of some of her execution, good or bad. She's always been regarded as that, and her numbers reflect that.
And they still do. And Drake, regardless of whether his chart numbers equate to number 28 now, before the Kendrick battle, he's still that. And he's still going to be that until Kendrick drop again. And Kendrick might hit 1 on the charts again. I'm anticipating him having the top 5 album, number 1 album after all of this. But regardless, Drake releasing as much as he has, he still has a stranglehold on his fan base that trickles down. But that's what Odd Future had was we all from around the way. ASAP Mob, we all from around the way. And that's the same thing that made Public Enemy great, NWA great. That's what made Wu-Tang great. Even
we
Outkast
all
great as well.
Outkast as well, especially. We all from around the way from where we from. YMCMB stuck, and YMCMB was the melting pot of different. But we see what happens with that. Tyga and Drake got friction. Nicki and Drake not speaking for a while. Seemed like they got a little bit of friction, and they end up coming back together. Wayne and Drake.
Yeah, Wayne was locked up, and Wayne and Drake had some form
right,
of
a little bit of friction, and now it seems like they kind of got some weird chemistry or lack thereof going on with that same at the Michael Rubin party. Apparently, they didn't speak. Or the only person that spoke to him was Glorilla or something like that. So now it seems like they got something going on. When y'all are so different and y'all come together, if y'all don't appreciate the differences and allow each other the space to just be that and not have to occupy each other's space, that is when tension and friction will be had, because this role player over here who is not, they're no longer trying to play that role. They want to see if they can, that point guard want to see if he can play center.
And you see, I ain't gonna lie, and you see another example of that, but a good example of that is AMP.
Oh, for a fact.
AMP, they are different regions of this country. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that all 5 of them, 6 of them, was able to come together and still work together. And then even when Phantom went on a hiatus for a while, the whole group was still working. Right. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't leaving him out. Even they still got their own buzz outside of the group. Right. But within the group, the buzz is 10 times better. And that's what it's supposed to be. If you start out as a group and you work as a group, it's okay to branch off, do what you need to do. But when y'all come back as a group or do another project as a group, that shit is 10 times exciting, because it shows how, one, the growth. It shows the chemistry. Facts. It shows the authenticity that you guys have together. And it also shows your like how relentless you are to just letting people in, doing what you got to do, letting people out, getting the content out, doing what you got to do, then being who you are, being one with yourself.
And they not occupying each other's lanes. They not trying to do what this other. Kai is not trying to be agent. Duke is not trying to be Kai. Yeah. You feel me? Like Duke is not trying to act like he from Brooklyn or from the Bronx like Phantom. Like they all have their own specialties that make them great, and they occupy that. It's in RDC is more of the example of the other side of we all from around the way.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they both thriving in their own individual world. So do I see AMP being like YMCMB? Sure I do, because they all have had their tension and their friction because of their differences of where they from.
But they know how to actually keep it off the internet.
For a fact.
Like, if they put it on the internet, it's strictly for promotion. Honestly,
that's a fact.
That's why I realized anything they put on the internet is just to promote. If it's something real personal, for the most part, they try to keep it off the internet.
Right.
If they're not streaming or whatever.
And to progress that, what Tyler spoke to, just to get, back to that, we don't have the ability as a collective, because if it was the majority, we wouldn't have to speak about it, right? We as a collective don't have the ability to compartmentalize those differences. So people think Chris and Kai beefing, oh, that's real, because we've been raised by reality television. So we think that, oh, snap, nah, they need to get cool. They need to get cool again. They need to do this. No, bro, this is content. This is entertainment. Do the content get out of hand sometimes? Yeah. There's never no real beef. They getting too much money together.
And they live together.
Right. So those same emotions that you think you would have in that situation, put as much money in your pocket as they got, and put the opportunity in your area. And you ask yourself if you would still have that same level of resentment, those same feelings. Ask yourself those questions, but you can't, because you've never been in them shoes before, nor have you ever been close to anybody who could ever even fit those shoes. So you try to overly invest in someone else's situation, which is a internet facade. It's not real. We, as a collective, are absorbing that and taking that in and personalizing that towards ourselves. So now, instead of us being able to relate as much to RDC, we don't even really try to relate to the people that's in our neighborhood. You remember when you used to know your neighbor? Like we used to know our neighbors type joint. We used to be able to share food with our neighbors. RDC is all Texas grown, but we looking for the AMP. Y'all, man, I don't really rock with people out here. It must be somebody. I'm in Virginia. It must be somebody in Wyoming that's more like me, bro. And then you end up finding somebody that's across the country that you feel like thinks like you, but you don't know them from a can of paint in the Home Depot. Like, you don't know them at all, so you feel the need to try to disconnect with everyone that's immediately around you to try to build a new connection and then try to reconnect yourself back here. No. It don't work like that when you don't have strength in numbers.
Facts.
We cannot relate to as many people as we think we can, because the skin color that we all rock, we have different experiences. And not only do we have different experiences, the Virginia Beach experience is different than the Newport News experience. I can say that because I done lived in both. The Suffolk experience is different from the Norfolk experience.
Man.
You feel me?
And Portsmouth and Franklin.
And Portsmouth and Franklin.
And Virginia Beach.
Right.
And, like, it's
Virginia
all...
Beach and Chesapeake.
Oh my gosh, bro.
It's different. Those experiences, if we end up mastering the box that we are already within, we have no problem being able to figure out what's good and bad for that. But being that we so pressed to think outside the box, we leave so much empty space and damage inside of the box that we are currently in. We abandon our space. We leave in our homes foreclosed to try to see what's across the country. Yo, next door got the same opportunities as all the way across the country. But like Tyler said, we got people in Cali saying slime. We don't say that here. Yo, in Virginia, we don't say fucking slime, yo. Like, we don't say that here. That's thug. Y'all got that from a thug song.
Let alone slut.
And we don't say slime, slat, slide. We don't say none of the SL words. People here hardly speak English. We not doing none of them words. We don't even know ESL. What we trying to modify the English language for? We already don't speak this. We country.
ESL is crazy.
What Chris Brown has done, he moved to California and he speak more like a native California, but you can still hear how country the nigga is. You can still hear in how he say shawty. He not from Atlanta.
You can tell by his mannerisms. This
You
nigga's
can tell
from
he
here.
stay an hour and a half up the way. You could tell he stay up 17 for real. Like you could really tell that if you from here, because it's a different. Virginia is much more of a melting pot because Virginia is military home base, the most military bases in the country. That is what Virginia is. So everything here is, oh, I'm from South Carolina, I'm from New York, I'm from California, I'm from here, and we on base, and we all know how military people fuck like rabbits, respectfully. So we know that, but when you just get to the local communities here, there is so much uniqueness and so much talent and so many gifts, so many opportunities for community. We're going to get into that in a second. But so many opportunities for those things. We are now eliminating the uniqueness behind it because we think something look cool over there. Where you get that shirt? Oh, I went to New York. You know, I went to the store up in New York, got that. Yo, those days are over now. Everybody here got Louis Ferragamo belts and Gucci shoes. And all. We are all wearing the same things. We're all saying the same things. And we all looking to try to make the same content, make the same waves, and make the same impact while all doing the same things. Those things don't work well together. Missy and Timbaland and Pharrell are three totally different entities. And they all made it from Virginia, all from the 757. They do different things. And Push. They didn't get to where they got to by trying to be a New Yorker or trying to be a Floridian or trying to be an ATLian or trying to be a Californian. They didn't get to where they said, what's different than what I'm hearing and how can I master that? And that's what they did. Maybe not as much Push, because Push has his own lane that he's been occupying, but even that drug dealing lane, the hip hop,
he gave y'all a scene, a picture of what it's like to live in Norfolk.
for a fact.
And he was not lying.
Shout out Berkeley.
He
for
was
sure.
not lying,
For
bro.
sure.
Shout out Kill Him Ave.
Oh, shout out Killam Avenue, for
Like,
sure.
What we talking about here?
Right around the corner from ODU. Shout out Park
Right.
Avenue too, Brambleton. Shout out Brambleton. That was a song on
Yeah.
I forgot what the album was
East
called.
Bremerton. Wasn't it? Yeah, it was East Bremerton that he said it.
Yeah, but I think the song was just called Brambleton.
I thought it was called East Bremerton.
Nah, it was just Brambleton. And I skipped to that track on the album just because shout out Norfolk State Spartans. But
Bro.
I think we hit that topic. I said something about community.
Yeah, you said that community.
Yeah, because
What's
okay, bet I remember what I was gonna say.
About to make a name for myself.
Shout out. Yo,
About to make a name for myself here.
Yo, that Channing Tatum accent was so ass. Yo, I'm sorry, bro. He sound like the stale cracker dude on YouTube. I'm poor. I know my girl hate it every time I say it. Listen, Gambit is fire, but nah. It sound like a Team 4-star video.
Hey, look, we gonna get into that on a different day.
Oh yeah, different. Since we don't know what we talk about according to my wife, but she ain't want to talk to us about it. It's okay. I still love you, and we still don't know what we talking about. Ha ha. But
Shut up, bro.
we got a podcast. That's our job, to talk about shit we don't know nothing about. And so what I was about to speak on was, shout out to the Joe Budden podcast. They played a clip from Dr. Umar arguing with somebody about whether hip hop has done more damage or good to the black community. I would like to ask y'all what side of that y'all are on, and on a ratio of damage to good, what ratio would y'all give it out of 100? So 60-40, 70-30.
I'll give it like 55%. Like 55.
55-45?
Yeah.
Which one you got good?
For 45 being good.
What about you, Trey? All right. Trey backed out.
What you got?
I got 65-35, but I got 65 good.
Okay.
And I got 65 good because what has happened from what I've been seeing, we have spent so much time trying to get rid of all the other elements of hip hop. And now we're slowly backtracking toward what made hip hop what it was. Because if we think about the good that hip hop has brought, we have to stop singling out rap, because hip hop has influenced more than just rap music. Hip hop not only has influenced like R&B music and pop and stuff like that, but hip hop is art. If we go back to graffiti, hip hop is art. Hip hop is dance, DJing, and hip hop is fashion.
And beatboxing one.
Yeah, beatboxing is one of them. So now beatboxing has slowly died. I'm not gonna front, and it's not died because people can't do it no more. It's just not as highlighted no more. It's more so made fun of than anything. What beatboxing has been going through over recent years is what dance went through like in the early 2000s and like the 2010s before jerking and stuff got hot. Mm-hmm. Like you get made fun of if you get caught on the street dancing, unless you're doing the current hot dance. But you get made fun of for dancing. Oh, you a stomped yard ass nigga. You got served ass nigga. You battle me. Right, battle me. And then they do some shit that they saw and you got served, and it's like, yo, I really lied. But they don't care because they think it's funny. Now everyone want to dance on TikTok. Everyone want to dance on Facebook Reels and YouTube Shorts. Everybody want to dance on Instagram Reels.
Flat girl routines on TikTok. It's crazy.
Right, like everyone wants to do those, which means dance has now made a comeback. Fashion, everybody was baggy daddied out. Now everybody wants to be.
I'm seeing niggas in jean shorts now.
Right. Everybody wants to be their own abstract fashion artist and fashionista and all that other stuff. So fashion has made the comeback.
Jean shorts was made fun of from 2005 to 2015.
I still make fun of jean shorts. I'm not gonna hold you because not a lot of people do jean shorts right. That's the problem.
Everybody do it the same way.
I'm talking about the bottom is regular, not the frayed bottom, and big creases.
Yeah, bro.
The box shorts. Shorts like they came fresh out the box, not fresh out a bag or fresh off a hanger. You done creased and sprayed starch the hell out them shorts. They look like Jean Dickies. Man, but if we just look at all the different elements of hip hop, breakdancing is an Olympic sport now. Breakdancing is an element of hip hop. You feel what I'm saying? Like
that wasn't done properly.
And we can speak to it, but again, breakdancing being an Olympic sport from being something that people was walking around carrying cardboard around trying to find good dance spots and police chasing them down because they disturbing the peace or whatever. Like that, going from that to an Olympic sport, I can't just immediately shit on all the hip hop because everybody want to rap the same now. Like and drill rappers make up less than 20% of all of hip hop. Everybody wants to say, well, y'all need to start rapping with a message, and I'm a rapper. Y'all need to start putting more messages in y'all music. Y'all need to do. I have less than 200 monthly streamers, and I got plenty of messages in my music, and I ain't trash because there are trash people who put trash messages in their music. So I'm not. Yeah, I ain't gonna go with that. But again, there's plenty of positive rappers out here. There's plenty of messages out here. Whether it be from KRS-One all the way up to Nas, these people get their flowers later, but when they're rapping about messages in the moment, don't nobody want to hear it because you want to hear hip, a hippie to the hip. Now you want to hear you. Now you want to hear Yachty, Lil Boat. You want to hear Uzi, shoulder roll. That's really what everybody wants to hear now because it's lit and it's turned. And those guys have mastered the art of fun. Those guys have mastered the art of what made disco hot. I think that's what we in the era of now of redistributing music back to the disco era of music and going back into more serious. I think the Drake and Kendrick battle has started to enter the era of seriousness a little bit more. But I know Dr. Umar was saying it's done so much and we've lost so many lives and this, that, and the third. I can't attribute that to hip hop when black on black crime was happening before hip hop started. And people was outside shooting and selling drugs and smoking crack before hip hop was invented. Like hip hop is 50 years old. Crack is older than 50. And now all of these issues, the systemic issues that have happened, I feel get pinned more on hip hop and rap because that's just something that they hear every day, and it seems like the easiest place to put blame on because art imitates life, but then after a while, life will start to imitate art. So now I think we are in the era of life starting to imitate art because people want to be accepted by the hood niggas. There's people in the suburbs that want to be viewed as cool to the hood kids, and now people who live in suburban neighborhood posting Dracos with switches in their crib. They live in gated communities. You feel what I'm saying? And these people over here, they walk around with guns to stay safe. You walk around with a gun to look cool. You know what I mean? Like, I get that.
I don't.
No, I'm saying I get that as far as seeing it and seeing that that's a problem. That's what I'm saying. I get.
I was about to say
Because I don't understand that. But seeing it and saying, hey, that's a problem. We need to stop that. And then you hear the music that says, hey, I'm walking around with a switch. Hey, that might need to stop too. But
and that's why I said 55% of it is a problem due to the fact that it's not the message per se, because it is a lot of artists, despite what type of rap or hip hop they make, the message behind their music is within their music. But it's about the artists that we are letting in that are making a mockery of the art, that's making a mockery of the people that's actually going through these things, that's just trying to imitate these things to get a buck for real. And then also hip hop, let alone rap, is adding things that don't need to be added, like politics. Because like I understand being a political rapper / lyrical rapper, or one of those things, a conscious rapper. I understand those, that because you got to understand what's going on in the world. You got to understand what's going on in the news to be a conscious enough rapper to rap the way you do. But what we have also allowed into hip hop is politics. We have let politics get involved in hip hop so many times where it hasn't benefited nothing. Even with battle rap, you saw that when DNA went against Charlie Clips trying to promote the presidency.
that was nasty.
Back then.
That was disgusting.
That's why, and that's exactly what I mean. It's
and Clips is my favorite of all time. That was nasty.
And even with like other things, like everybody now is on the bandwagon of hating Donald Trump, but from the year 2000 up to 2010, everybody loved that man. So
he was he was in hip hop music videos.
Yeah, so it's just like So it's like, that's why I mean, it's making people more confused because they know they have the power to make people confused now. It's also giving the masses that's controlling this narrative, this agenda, is making it more like impactful on the people that's not understanding hip hop, and they're making it more impactful on them in a way far as like, all right, this how hip hop looks. Yeah. When like you say, it was really the hip hop, the hippie.
Pull your mic a little closer. Pause.
It's really like to the hip hop, like that's where it really started from. Like hip hop started with dancing, beatboxing, DJing, and graffiti, and rap. That's what it really was.
And DJing's on life support now too.
So it's like, if you don't understand those 5 traits of what makes hip hop, then you're not gonna understand why you feel like you're a part of the problem. It's like you're not knowledgeable of the culture to be in the culture. Then you're just doing something. You're doing one out of 5 things that's a part of the culture, and you don't really care about those things. And it's like everything that's in it, it hasn't flown properly in a beautiful way since like the late 80s,
early 90s, yeah.
At that point. And then later on, from like 2007 all the way up to like what I want to say 2014, because that's when they started doing EDMs with rap songs for real. And it got annoying because it's like, all right, now we listen to futuristic type of rap, and it's not doing nothing but just making everybody look like they off coke or crack for real, popping everywhere, jumping everywhere. Then you go into the heavily endorsing drug music era, and it's like everybody drinking lean, everybody smoking hella weed, everybody popping pills, everybody drinking a lot because they running for something. That's all it is you're running for something. That's why it's making it worse, because it came from we have something to work towards to I want to kill myself and listen to this music at the same time. That's why it's an issue, because it's causing more of a mental illness and a physical illness, because people killing each other and getting involved in things they don't need to get into, and a spiritual issue, because now you got frequency waves that you have no idea that's being inputted into your brain, let alone in throughout your whole body. Now you're reacting a certain way because of a frequency wave, the 808. You know what I'm saying? And I say Kanye West is the blame for that, because he went into it only thinking about the pros, not thinking about the cons of 808s. Because I had to listen to Graduation again and 808 Heartbeats again to understand, like, all right, this was good. It was produced good, but it later introduced a get rich quick scheme for people to be a part of, and it's diluting the art. Like I said.
So why can't we simply just say rap is holding back hip hop?
I mean, we can say that
because hip hop is the umbrella that I think gets unfairly shot at because of one. Now I understand the children is always a reflection of the parent, no matter what you do, but it's hard to immediately point toward that one kid who was raised in a really good background who decided to shoot up a school. Like, that's where I feel rap is. You have all of these other babies that have bloomed and blossomed into something that is bigger and has the potential to be bigger than the umbrella. Actually, all of them have been bigger than the umbrella. Yeah. Dancing has superseded hip-hop because now there's dances that there's dances that root from breakdancing that don't even get, like, they don't even dance to hip-hop music anymore. You know what I'm saying? And then there's graffiti, but there's art that has nothing to do with hip-hop at this point that does resemble graffiti just because somebody liked what they saw. And fashion.
DJing as well. And fashion, especially when it comes to DJing, when we talk about the scratches and all, that doesn't even have to be done for hip-hop music anymore. Fashion the black in hip-hop fashion like this
has definitely branched out for a fact. The fashion has definitely branched out. Hip-hop fashion is big in France now. Like when you go to Fashion Week and other places, these hip hop people have become designers for people who don't know anything about hip hop. Rap music seems to be the only one where we glorify the crabs in the barrel.
And you want to know why? Because it's music. It's a thing that is meant to be angelic in no matter what type of form it is, because it's music. And it's
a soundtrack to people's lives as well.
Yeah. So it's like it's easy to access every day. It's like I got Spotify on my phone, so people got Apple Music. I can literally go up to Spotify, play a song that I want to hear, and I play it, and it will show me how many songs that I listen to on repeat. And those songs that you are listening to on repeat, you have to be wary of those type of songs, because it's like, all right, is this helping me? Is this not? Is it? If it is, then I need to put it in a certain playlist where it's uplifting me, because that's what you have to do now. You have to separate the art from the artist. If you don't, it's gonna mess up it's gonna mess up what we basically talking about right now, the future of the kids.
So do we blame the music for that, like in all actuality, or do we blame the household?
The producers. I'll say the household.
I was about to say I gotta blame the household. I can't in a shared blame. Like it's definitely shared blame, because if I ask this question, right, if we remove hip hop, if we remove rap music for what it is today, does your ratio of hip hop harm and good change?
I'd take it off. It'll be swapped. It'll be 55-45. Good.
So do you think
it'll be 55 good, 45 bad?
So what's harmful about breakdancing?
There's nothing harmful about breakdancing. What's harmful is when you have a person that is demonstrating breakdance but doing a horrible job at demonstrating breakdance and have a background of not really come from
being trash is harmful.
Yeah, because it's like,
damn.
No, I'm gonna put it like this. No. I'm gonna
go to dance events and just look at trash. Yo, you're harming everybody.
I'm gonna put it like this. Let's say I bone break, right?
Right.
And I just know how to do one break. And I just do that one break. And it's not good because
I know somebody like that. Yeah.
And I don't practice it. So it's like I can't say I'm a bone breaker. Only thing I can say is I know how to bone break. I know how to. I'm not a good bone breaker. Now, if I'm a person that knows how to actually b-boy, I can't just go on the floor, spin, and be like, yeah, I'm a b-boy. Because then everybody can be like, what you just do? My kid can do that. Now, if I'm actually being able to demonstrate it, help you learn how to do it, or even inspire you to do it, or just do the style in some form of way, then it's actually helping, because it's educating somebody. It's informing somebody. It's giving somebody a perspective on a way of life that you go about, not just their way of life. It's it's long lasting. Yeah, it's everlasting that way versus just
I agree
being a fuck up.
Now we do have a certain level of discernment, right? To where it's like when you see two people say they do the same thing and you don't know what it is, there's one person that obviously catches your eye.
Yeah.
So if I just see you do a backspin and you look like Shaq on the floor, and then I see Crazy Legs walk up, then you telling me that you b-boyed, him telling me that he b-boys, I'm automatically gonna look at you and say, well, why can't you go ahead and do that? Why can't you do that?
Yeah.
So I can't. I'm not gonna immediately, and I'm not gonna say I can't. I make a choice. I'm not gonna immediately run to that person is being harmful by saying he's a b-boy, when I could simply just say he may think he's a b-boy, but he's very low level, and it's almost to the point to where he's not a b-boy. And I could just educate people on saying what is and what isn't, rather than immediately trying to say that this person is being harmful when we have the ability to control the narrative now more than we ever have.
But that's why I say it's also an issue, because it's the internet. A lot of people can say they this and that, and when you go up there, it's just clickbait. That's all it is. It's really clickbait. And clickbait has gotten more limelight than the actual talent, because people just want to be nosy and see what's going on.
Well, it got views, but do it got impact?
Apparently, yes, because it's still...
Because that's
happening.
the Drake Kendrick conversation.
Because, like, for example, like for those that watch wrestling or any pay-per-view, you want to see the pay-per-view on YouTube. So what some people would do would actually have the thumbnail as the current...
They'll go live and then
the
put the
current
screenshot.
event. And then like once you...
that's
like,
true.
Then once you actually get to the video, it's something that happened a week ago or 3
Facts,
years ago.
facts.
And that's why I mean, it's the same with dance. It's like a lot of these dancers or just artists are clickbait. They're not actually into it to help somebody or present their talent in a divine way. They're just only there to be like, I want to make a profit, and they're trying to profit off of something that can't be profit off of. Because if your skill set is not good, you can't go in asking for $1 million when you're barely worth a penny. And it's not to say that to be mean, but it's to say that realistic.
That's not being mean. That's being real, because it's the same thing that happens with football. Trevor Lawrence is the highest paid quarterback in the NFL right now. Patrick Mahomes is number 11. Does that reflect if Trevor Lawrence is actually the best? No, Patrick Mahomes has 3 Super Bowls in his first 6 years as a starter, 5-6 years as a starter. He's on pace to wash Tom Brady's 7 rings. But Trevor Lawrence is the highest paid quarterback. Instead of acknowledging it as, yo, it's just his turn to get paid, you choose one of two things. Yo, these owners are devaluing all of these players, or, hey, Trevor Lawrence, you got to live up to being paid higher than Patrick Mahomes. How about we say, let's stop saying because you're next up, you need a ridiculous bag more than this person. I'm going to pay you like you are the 8th best quarterback. And if somebody who's number 15 jumps you, I'm going to respect you enough to give you more than them. If they go from 15 to 7 and I know you better than them, okay, you can jump them because I know you better. Paying them what we feel like people have earned versus what they will earn us, that's the gift and the curse of just the industry within itself, more so than the actual art. And more of us should point towards dismantling what the industry has programmed, more so than demeaning the art. Because in the process of it, rap, hip hop overall has bared the shitty end of the stick, for lack of better terminology, for a lot of things that have gone wrong that have existed before hip hop. Drugs, crime, and all of these, adultery and misogyny have all existed. We learned it from somewhere. We ain't just spontaneously build guns, money. Like we didn't spontaneously build switches or build misogyny, or black people did not invent any of this shit, but black people did
partake in it,
invent hip hop. And those things have been taught to us, and yeah, we partook in it because we live in America, unfortunately. But, you know, the unfortunate things of what has built this country are embedded within us. But one thing that it was embedded in, but in its most pure form, was hip hop. It was rebellion. It was, yo, police said, you can't perform Fuck the Police or we gonna arrest you. But y'all out here beating the shit out of our people. So we gonna perform this song because what we saying in the song, Fuck the Police, coming straight from the underground, is how we starting the show because y'all think y'all can play with us. We have a platform to speak in which people can hear us, and the impact is being heard. But we are also the same people that get offended when Jay-Z says we're past kneeling. Like, what Jay-Z said was, yo, it's time for a call to action. The most important part about the call to action is the action after the call to. So if we just want to keep calling motherfuckers, eventually we're going to get sent to voicemail because they're going to get tired of us calling. Now we need the actual action. And for everyone who got offended at we're past kneeling, was not past kneeling. But we have to actually act on whatever it is that we kneeling for at some point in time, in which we call Jay-Z a hypocrite because, yo, you a billionaire, you should be able to make some sort of contribution. If there was a price tag on racism, I think we would have paid the bitch by now. There is not a price tag to end racism for everyone who thinks, oh, we rich, we can stop racism. What is the cost of racism? There isn't one. But one thing that has been more detrimental to the black community, which I think has played the biggest issue in rap music, racism has not harmed us more than classism has. With all due respect, racism brought black people together, and classism has literally separated black people from other black people. How rich you are, how broke you are, what you can afford, what you can't afford. If you don't got foams or Jordans going to school now, you probably gonna get joked for it. We got joked for Pro Kids, K-Swiss, FUBU. We got joked for those things, but it's because, oh, you wearing Shaqs, that means you can't afford Jordans. So now when we grow up and we get quick chain real quick, we get some J's, and J's clean. We get some J's and we feel good about ourselves. Classism has done more damage within the black community than racism did, because racism actually brought niggas together. Racism brought us together to fight against, while classism has literally had us fight within ourselves, which is why a lot of our wounds are self-inflicted. Rap music has considerably contributed to classism within the black community, but that's one aspect of hip-hop. That's why I say 65-35, because that 35%, I think because we look worse now than we ever have, like we visibly look worse now than we ever have. You see all this drama play out in the public. The majority voices are not spoken for within the minority. The minority of the minority is the loudest, and they project the loudest. So therefore, 55-45 bad to good is what we see online. But there's a whole mansion community over in Hampton that's full of black people. It's an estate neighborhood that's full of black people. You go to Atlanta, it is the black Mecca. Yeah, they got the hoods out there, but they also have mansion and estate neighborhoods where it's full of black people. You have the same in a lot of different areas, but those aren't spoken to because those people don't really do the same projecting as a couple niggas with a podcast do. You feel me? Like we so quick to... Women are quick to shame men. Men are quick to shame women and put it on camera for a couple views and some interactions and likes to feel like we important, rather than actually make differences by stepping outside and going to do something actively within the community. Impact here means more to us now in that minority than impact in here, which is this room.
Exactly.
So I think rap music has very much so negatively contributed to that. But that's a minority speaking for a majority that makes us look worse than we ever have. And media has always dictated black people's images. Black people over in China look like how white people want us to look in media because we didn't control media during a certain point in time. When people from the military that was black would go over to these other countries, they all think we act like the black people in America that are shown on TV. They're monsters and criminals and this, that, and the third. So why is he in camouflage fighting for the country and trying to protect us when he's supposed to be beating up an old lady somewhere? Because mainstream media depicted us a certain way. So now that we've removed mainstream media and we still look like wild fucking animals, it looks insane. We fight each other, we bicker at each other, we demean each other and tear each other down, all for some clicks and views. None of these people really mean anything that they be saying. And then the people that be bigging people up, trying to pretend like the black men who say black men ain't shit and black women are queens and we need to treat them as such, be cheating and beating on a black wife at home. Just saying, all of these images that we see up in the forefront don't really mean much when you peel back the layers.
The camera for that one.
And go. I had to turn back. It don't really mean much when we go back into the reality of the situation, which is the minority is the loudest. They're louder than the majority, so therefore they look like the majority when they're really not. You feel what I'm saying? Does hip hop play a factor into that? Yes, It does. Yes, it does. I personally can't aim it to say it's done more harm than good when what we have to show for it is a style of art, a translatable style of fashion that is translated across the globe, media outreach that we've never had before, and so on and so forth. Now, if we want to boil it back down to community, to get back on the original topic, what do we have as a community that we didn't have before? This is where my 35% come in. I'm not going to front. We lost almost all of our land. We don't have a lot of our mom and pop shops that we used to have. We don't have, this is where I get to talk my shit. I get to have some fun. So, in dancing, right? I'm going to say this right now. In dancing, what I had planned to do, because I'm one of the people who was running Garage Wars, shout out to the Garage Wars team. I was one of the people who started it. I had 3 different agendas, 3 different plans. All had nothing to do with my sole benefit. I had a summer camp that I had in mind because I wanted to be able to bring street dance into schools, to make a curriculum out of street dance. But one thing I know I needed to do was get parents to want to invest in their children and learning the dance. So therefore, I had an idea for a summer camp to end up going to the public school systems and getting funding so that way we could actually make it into after school programs, and then end up possibly even teaching the course or curriculum, but even having an after school program to get kids to, because every kid ain't going to want to play ball. Every kid ain't going to want to, I don't know. Every kid just ain't going to want to do what all the kids is doing now. But now you look in the era where everybody wants to learn to dance now. It's kind of funny, looking back at it. But now I wanted to have a summer camp because you can ask people like Priest, you can ask people like Cypher, you can ask people like Kelvin, Special K. You can ask all of those people. I had in mind for them to actually be employed to teach dance. That was one thing that I wanted to do. Another thing, I wanted to start 2 festivals, a 7-5 festival and an 804 festival. One July 5th, another one August 4th. One in Richmond, one out here. I wanted to have those festivals to provide dancers and dance teams opportunities to perform in front of hundreds of people, black-owned or dancer-owned vendors. Not just black-owned, but dancer-owned vendors being able to be here, cook, serve food, sell shirts, do all of these different things, promote their music. Dancers who also don't just dance, but maybe rap or sing or do something. Perform at these festivals in these public parks. I went to the Virginia Beach Parks and Recreation Center to get all my paperwork ready to be able to have my own festival because I needed to rent a public park to be able to do it. I had that in mind to do that. And the last thing I wanted to do was have 3 judges for all my events, 2 different dance styles because I had an all styles event, and 1 judge that was a talent agent because I wanted the talent agent to be able to select dancer of the night and have them have a trial of representing a talent agency, as well as tell all of the dancers who either won or lost why they chose this person and what makes them more marketable and what this person could do to make their dance and their image more marketable. I was going to have all of those 3 things to help build up, because when we talk about community, you need a pharmacy, you need a bank, you need a grocery store, you need clothing, you need music, you need all of these things to form a community, right? But every time we refer to community, what's the first fucking thing we do? Yo, we need an event. We need a session, yo. Like we need to have a session. We need to lab. We need to find more dancers. The dancers are here. Capitalize on the ones that are here by not just repeating the same damn cycle. Unfortunately, I didn't make it that far because I was in over my head. Respectfully, I was in over my head, and the people that were around me can tell you the same. I spent thousands of dollars into this community when I didn't have it, of my own money, out of my pocket, out of the part-time jobs that Tre got me one of them part-time jobs. Out of all the jobs that I had, I put money out of my own pocket into other people's pockets, into flights, into some people stayed with me. Like, I did all of that just for the sake of providing the image of opportunity so we can all head down the same path, as well as veering off, going to the crump side, starting an event over here and helping with events over here, going to the flex side, starting and helping with events over here, just to push and promote community. But what is the most popular part of community? Getting your footage. That's the most popular part of the community. Hey, you got footage of me? Hey, man, I got a battle coming up. I got this. Hey, man, this new move I just did. Yo, there is so much more shit to community than around. There are so many more things to community than what we would like to put forth into And one thing that rap music has negatively contributed to is to the image of what it means to be a community or to be together. Me and my people are all doing this, so it's cool when me and my people do this. If we really focused on what it means to actually build a community, to what Umar was saying, individualism, a whole conglomerate of rappers have gotten hot and they all provide for their own families opportunities that they wouldn't have been able to provide before. What does that promote? Capitalizing on when that one person gets the opportunity, or I'm going to become a rapper so I can make my own millions. That's the 35 that I argue with, because there's so many people who can have their own event. That's fine. Some of you niggas know how to garden. Why are y'all not actually providing vegetables for the community? Instead of going over here and getting these organic vegetables from Whole Foods, that's $10 for a stick of broccoli. Come rock with me over here. I could sell you this. I could grow this. I'll sell you in-season fruits and vegetables because I know how to do this. Wait, before I get this Louis Vuitton X, Y, and Z, he got a clothing line over there. Let me go rock with him and do it. Now a whole group can buy from this person's clothing line. A whole group can buy from this person's garden. A whole group can listen to this person's music, can lab to this person's music. We did pretty good with that one, with FDM music and crump music. We do pretty good with that one. But even now, a lot of the crump music is outsourced to European producers. So a lot of flex music, we have one. We had two, but he make different music. Shout out to G-Face. He still make tunes from time to time. Shout out to him. He definitely doing this shit outside. But we got Cyrax, Quaison. He's one, and people selectively support him. And it's very selective when they support him. Is it unfortunate? Yeah, it's very unfortunate. But that is the repetitive thing that if we just all focused on making Quaison the most streamed producer in the dance community out here, he would see benefit from it to where he don't have to keep putting his music on Bandcamp and hoping that people buy it, or logging into somebody else's Bandcamp and downloading it off of their Bandcamp account. I'm just saying. But that's how we view building community versus occupying the lane of individualism. And it's not fair and it's bullshit, to be totally honest with you, which is why the hip hop, I think that's not as much hip hop as it is black flaws in the black community, because we think the image means more than the substance. But rap, unfortunately, has contributed to 90% of that. Even the R&B music that we make now sound like rap music. Got over here talk about Twin, Slime, and Slat in R&B music. What's that? What are we singing about? What are we singing about now? I thought we was begging for the. I know we messed up.
Figure 4. That's crazy in the R&B.
Put my foot on the neck, bro. What are we doing, yo? This is not. Again, I understand the clashing of different worlds. Having the rapper on the R&B record, or having an R&B singer on a rap record. I get the clash and the collaboration, but we can't make a living off of trying to eat off the sound to create our own branch and tree and umbrella, because that umbrella ends up getting watered down. That tree ends up getting watered down. If we keep just throwing seeds at dirt, expecting a whole tree to blossom from that, that's not going to happen, because now look at what we're doing. We're flooding the soil with the same seed over and over again. And the same thing can't grow like that in the same spot.
Hey, man.
I have to give a root canal to that motherfucker. Hey. For real.
Hey, bro. You said a lot.
I apologize for that too, man. Goodness gracious.
And I'm not going to lie. I feel like that's a perfect way to wrap this up. And
I apologize if all of that was a little wordy, y'all. That's been something that's been on my mind and on my heart heavy.
I just let you cook. That's all, bro.
I appreciate that, man.
You had to cook, man.
And mind you, that's not for anybody to feel pity toward me, or for anybody to try to empathize and feel bad for it. No, that's none of that. My experiences that I went through, if I'm trying to keep experience so y'all have to experience hurt in order to learn what I learned, that's bullshit, and I'm weak for that. I would never hide my hurt to wait to see who else felt that same hurt, when I could easily just come out and say, yo, this is this, and this is what happens with this. Why would I do that? I'd be super weak for doing that. So I would never do that to anybody who's out there doing it. This ain't a shot to nobody who has an event or anything like that. This is just saying, if you've been down this path, there is much bigger of a responsibility than just providing some cool looking footage or providing a cool looking battle, because you're going to keep doing it over and over again. And we keep asking why the community dies and restarts and dies and restarts. There's a reason why there's only one group in each community now, because we keep doing the same things over and over again as a people, as black people for one. And this ain't to bash all black people before people immediately get to the coon part of the segment. No, we're not doing that. We are afforded the ability to be able to think reflectively about things that we come across. So if we can reflect and say, hey, maybe we do this differently, maybe we do that differently. That's all. Because we got so much to offer and we got so much potential. Potential becomes an insult when you hit 30, my nigga. When you hit 35 and you still got potential, hang it up, bro. Find where you can make your potential kinetic, bro. That stored up, pent up potential energy, find a way to make it move and make it work for you.
Like Gambit.
That was a potential energy that was hidden for X amount of time. Channing Tatum finally got the opportunity to be able to do something with it. He finally got the opportunity to be able to do something with it.
Ooh, he made a name out of himself, yeah?
Look at shit. Oh, I wish the camera was looking at it right now. But yeah, man, I appreciate everybody for listening. I ain't even really intro the pod for real. This was episode 10 of What's His Face talk about what you call it on the damn the What's the Name podcast, man. I have been one of your hosts, Kelvin Jr. Don't forget the Junior, and I've been here with your boy
Larry the Wavy Fellow here to tell you hello, and over here we create the wave, we don't drown in.
And I forgot to say hello because I'm trying not to laugh right now. And shout out to my brother, Mr. InFocus, Tre himself, cameraman, giving us the beautiful visuals so y'all can see us. You feel what I'm saying?
Also, Pringles, Skyrim, sponsor me. Thank you.
FanDuel, DraftKings, Prize Picks, Fanatics, Underdog Sports, any betting app, sponsor me. I will be covering more sports on the Rough Talk Sports podcast. Episode 22 will be coming out very soon. I'm going to close out with my brother, Christian. We're going to talk about Tank saying Chris Brown was more talented than Michael Jackson next episode. But but let's go ahead and close out with my brother, Christian. Shout out to you again, my brother, for this beautiful record. We're going to close out with Self-Inflicted Wounds. And nobody better not call me while it's playing. All three daps got better, too. Go ahead, Brody.
Forgiveness and peace is the antidote.
So take it easy, won't you? It's slow.